Hi, this is Derek Pugh with Campaign for America's Future, and we are interviewing Representative Ellison, and he is here to talk about the Better Off budget and what it can do to help alleviate the economic woes of young people in today's economy. And Representative Ellison has been a fierce advocate of young people, and this budget is something that reflects that message and vision for the future. So would you please tell us a few points of why this budget is really not just for the American people, but the millennial generation as well?
Well, let me tell you, Derek, the Better Off budget is about making people better off in every way, particularly for young people. Let's start off with the fact that our budget prioritizes 8.8 million good jobs by investments in infrastructure, building our roads, bridges, transit, things like that. That's going to help young people get to work. What is happening with young people getting out of high school, getting out of college? Big debt, low pay, no pay. Well, 8.8 million jobs will make a very big difference. That's the top line. But then there's other stuff. Stuff like dealing with the student loan crisis. We increase Pell Grants so that students who are trying to get through college don't have to shoulder that big, fat, giant tuition, don't have to borrow as much money. Stafford loans reduces the cost of those loans over time. Very important. Also, we have these service corps, which involve conservation, AmeriCorps, things like that give young people an option to help America do better by helping them do better, paying them, training them, things like that. Back in the, FDR style, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, CCC, WPA. I tell you, Derek, I was walking through a park in Minneapolis where I live, and I sat on a bench, a picnic bench, and it said WPA 1935. Well, that's a sturdy bench right there. Yes. Some young person many years ago made that bench. The people of their generation invested in young people, helped the young people who made that bench and those trails have a way forward. We can't do less this generation, can we?
And that's in sharp contrast to the Ryan budget that was just released yesterday, which maxes out Pell Grants for the next 10 years and actually says that we're spending too much on the future of the next generation.
Yeah, well, what they believe and they say that that the poor and the middle class have too much money and the rich don't have enough. And if we give the rich people more money, they're going to invest in plant and equipment, and that's going to hire the rest of us. Bigger lie, never been told. That doesn't work. It never has worked, although it does make some people, a very few, very, very rich. But we're going to fight that, because we got the majority on our side. One other thing I want to say about young people is not every young person's gone to college. Many are. But a lot of young people are parents. I remember, I'm 50 now, but my son's 26, which means when he was born, I was 23. By the time I was 26, 7, and 8, me and my wife needed to figure out some child care because I had a job and she had one. And so the pre-K part of the Better Off budget would have helped a guy like me who's trying to figure out what to do with my young son who's now a grown man. And then also, it's important that young people are into the environment. They're concerned and aware of climate change. We put a price on carbon so that my son and his son and the generations will have a earth which they can live on. This is an important thing, I think. And so these are just a few things that make our budget the right budget for young people, young adults. We talk about we increase food stamps, we increase things where people aren't working and need an extra hand, can get a little extra hand, and we make investments in research and in jobs that are going to put people back to work, and we reduce the burden of these student loans, help people with child care. So I think this is the right budget for young people. Derek, I think our biggest problem is cynicism. We can't let young people believe that nobody cares and they can only be out there for themselves. We gotta make folks know that the Progressive Caucus, the Better Off budget, is there for them. We want them to support it. We want them to read it. We want them to tell their friends about it. And that's the deal.
Well, as a millennial, I support the Better Off budget, and most of my friends do, and I will continue to push it out and advocate for it. And thank you for all your work and the work of the Progressive Caucus.
Well, that's a great endorsement, Derek. That's a great endorsement from you. Thanks, sir.
Thank you.